Hey YouTube. Um, I like to say I come to a point of decisions on what to do about my life, how to work things out. I come to this era of my life that yes, I do have things that I need work on, and do admit that I do suffer for an illness. And basically, my illness is a mental illness, and it it has a lot of downfalls and I had a lot of problems, but I'm learning how to get back on my feet. I'm learning how to deal with it. The biggest part that my illness took over my life was in 2007. That right there, my friends, was the tip of the iceberg. 2007. Before 2007, I was married at the age of 18. That didn't work out. Then I got married at the age of 21. That only lasted for 4 years. But now looking back through everything that happened, it was my illness that played a big part of my life and how bad it affected me. Started not showing until the age of 13. But before I was 13, I was diagnosed with ADHD. So I was on Ritalin. Plus, I was on lithium and all that growing up. And it's just little by little, my illness got worse and worse and worse. I had night terrors, nightmares, very bad nightmares. That it was so intense. My nightmares was that it put me in the hospital at a young age. Um, I was in two different, well, three different state institutional hospitals, learning how to cope with my illness. Throughout the whole stay in the hospitals, they finally realized that I suffered with bipolar. I suffered with schizophrenia. This was all at the age of 12. Well, growing up with this illness, I had not much friends because my parents would tell me not to tell anybody about my illness or everybody would look down at me. So I had to hide from my problems, not cope with it. Um, my illness made me act different. It made me strange around other people. I did things that I thought it was good, but in everybody else's eyes, it was wrong. Um, I was very picky in school, very mouthy at times. Couldn't keep on task. Um, I took me out of school at the age of 13 in the sixth grade. From there, was homeschooled. Didn't get my GED. I don't really care for my GED. And my illness was a very big part of my life. I mean, it's my illness. And growing up, when I was 17, that's when I worked. I got married. Didn't last for a year. Followed in another depression. Dated a lot. But as I look back, in 2007, my dad committed suicide. 2008, I lost my grandmother to diabetes. Around the ending part of 2008, 2009, I lost a very, very special girl that I wanted to marry and my son because of my illness. And I was homeless for 2 years. Being homeless for 2 years gave me a way to work with my illness, to look more deep into my illness, to find other people who suffer with my illness. It came to me when I was in Vegas, and I learned a lot in Vegas, in the shelters, things like that, programs and all that. Then I came back to Ohio, and now I am in another part of Ohio that I do like. I may not want to leave it until I can work on things and get back on my feet. Because I know as long as I have this illness, I would not have a decent relationship, not a decent job, not decent work. I find things to cope with my illness, like I play cards, I do coloring, I draw. I'm on the computer checking my email time after time, and that it is hard. I mean, a lot of people try to change me. A lot of people tell me to do things, do this, do that, be normal. I talk too much. I have crazy ideas. I do take pills, and there are times where really I don't really want to take my medicine because it's like it makes me sleepy. And being on my medicine, I mean, is okay and everything. I mean, I agree that being on medicine and having the proper diet, having the proper exercise, having the proper sleep will make it better. But my illness is a life going illness. And it's a mental illness. I mean, I admit it to say that I have bipolar, I'm schizophrenic. And I see people downgrading other people with illnesses, like mental illnesses, people that has autisms. I see people pushing them away, and I'm not even helping. And it is a time to take a stand. I mean, it is the time to take a stand. For those out there who does have illnesses like mental illness, autism, bipolar, schizophrenic, post-traumatic stress, those are chemical functions that tears at the brain. And without the proper treatment, without the proper coping skills, without the proper way of talking to people or helping one another, that it's hard. I mean, there's a lot of suicides, a lot of people overdosing, all because of this mental illness. I mean, it's something that after a while we tend up getting. I mean, as we get older, like in the old people, they get dementia, things like that, because it's the deterioration of the brain cells in the brain. So, I mean, take a look at our youth. I mean, if you watch them and understand how they act, you can catch that illness before it takes over their life. Help them to understand. I mean, yeah, a lot of kids get stressed. A lot of kids act out, but it's helping them and showing them that they are not alone. So I'm saying you all are not alone. I'm Gregory Robinson, and I'm a schizophrenic, bipolar mix. I got a mental illness, so like I said, I'm being truthful. I mean, if you don't want to comment, fine. If you do, okay, but that's okay. Find help, stay on your meds, and work out, and everything will be fine. God bless.